Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far. So today we are back with another Will I Buy It video. The video where we talk about new releases, upcoming products that have just dropped right in our faces, and I tell you whether I'm going to be picking it up, what my thoughts are, if I'm going to be leaving it alone and why, and hopefully you guys join in too and tell me what you're buying and what you're leaving, because I love to know. I tell you every time, I am a nosy lady. So first up, we have to talk about this Wayne Goss palette. We have to talk about it. I find this so interesting because I've already explained to you, I am a nosy lady, and so as soon as there's like the first images of a product, I'm straight up in the comment section on Trend Mood. Once they drop a post, this is coming out, I'm leafing through, I'm nosing through those comments. I like to know what people are saying, what people are thinking. I have my own thoughts, I have my own things to say, but I do like to see what the general consensus is so I can decide, you know, is there a lot of interest? Is it worth a review? Do people want to know? Do people want to see what it's like? And the comment section was a whole mess on that Trend Mood post of this palette. When I first saw this palette, I was so excited. That was my initial reaction, was excitement, because I trust Wayne. I know that he knows what he's doing with colours and with formulas and with textures. He is like a god. He's the ultimate professional. He certainly knows what he's doing. He isn't going to drop something that isn't going to work, or a colour story that it doesn't make sense, okay? So this palette, yeah, it doesn't look like any other palette that I've seen. It doesn't remind me of another palette. I certainly do not have anything that's even a hair similar to this in my collection. And all I see on Trend Mood the majority of the time is, boring, seen it all before, we've all got 10 of these. And then someone drops something that is really unique, different, but still so beautiful from someone who we all know knows what he's doing. And the whole comment section was confused. They didn't get it, they didn't understand it. There was a lot of, why is there two greys, what is this? People just didn't see the vision. And while I wasn't really sure how are these shades going to swatch, like I desperately wanted to see swatches, because this to me is the type of palette that a picture of this palette is never going to do it justice. You need swatches, you need to see it on the eye, you need to see people using it. So then he dropped his video with like the most glorious women on earth in, all of my friends, Kelsey, Michelle, Mel and Tara, and they just blew me away, all of them with their looks, just glorious. And it really showed the absolute unique versatility of this like palette. How could this palette that looks so different and unique actually be so wearable and produce all these different looks on these different skin tones? And it was just, I knew it was going to be glorious. And I imagine that those people on Trend Mood's comments are really eating their words right now, because it just is stunning, and people crying out for something different, something unique, something we don't have. And Wayne is giving it to us, and then people are moaning about it. But to me, this is glorious, it's special, it's exciting, and I will absolutely be buying it. Whether or not I will review it will depend on how quickly it will get here. I really can't see it getting here before there are like 200 reviews from people who live in the States and can receive it much quicker than I can. You know, I don't really see the value in reviewing something that's been reviewed 250 times already. That's just not what I prefer to do. But if it does get here in time, if there's not already a million reviews up, then I will review it for you. And of course, I'll share my thoughts with you in my favorites or something like that, trying new makeup videos, something like that. But I am so excited to try this, something different, but something beautiful. These Charlotte Tilbury lip and cheek stains. Nothing about these float my boat, tickle my pickle, stir my loins, whatever you want to say. They just don't do it for me. I mean, I'm not really a lip stain person. I'm not really a cheek stain person. I'm not really a liquid or a cream blush person. So clearly, these aren't going to be my type of product. I agree, someone commented on my post when I shared that the launch that these were now available on my Instagram, and someone said, oh, the packaging just doesn't look chic really. It doesn't really look like Charlotte Tilbury. Usually her packaging is very beautiful, very chic, very luxurious, and these don't really look that way. They don't really sort of look like they make sense in her brand. And nothing about me wants to pick these up. It's not my type of product. It's nothing I will use. So this is a very easy pass for me. This Huda Beauty Gold palette. So this was an exclusive to Cult Beauty here in the UK, but you can order from Cult Beauty from lots of other countries. So yeah, although it's an exclusive on Cult Beauty, most people can still get hold of it in whatever country you're ordering from. This again is just very okay for me. It looks pretty, sure. I know her mini palettes are made in China and people have an issue with that because for made in China makeup, it's a fairly high price tag and the quality is not as good as in her larger palettes, which are made in Italy. I know lots of people are disappointed about that and the quality in her smaller palettes versus her larger palettes, but if you love this colour story and you're happy with the quality and you're happy with the shadows and you enjoy her formula, this looks like a very pretty palette, but it's just not my colours, my shades. This colour story doesn't really do it for me. I'm not really a gold person. The real yellowy golds that are in the palettes I own are the ones that I tend to not use. So a whole palette of that is not coming home with me. The Kylie Grinch collection. Now I see my kids love the Grinch. They love that film and so do I. So I get why she's done this collaboration, but I don't get the colour story, I'm afraid. None of this really appeals to me. I do love greens, but not these types of colours. I just really, like when I saw this, I just didn't understand it. And it does look, I know people say that her makeup is just really highly priced Colourpop. So you're better off just getting Colourpop because you're getting the same product for a lot more money with her brand. And I don't have a lot of experience with Kylie Cosmetics. It's not widely available here. You'd have to, pay a lot of money from her own website to get it here. So I can't tell you a lot about her quality because I haven't used her eyeshadows, for example. It doesn't look appealing to me, to my taste. The whole colour story just doesn't appeal to me. And the whole massive Grinch, much as I love him, I don't really want him plastered all over my makeup and it's just not me. These D&G Dolce & Gabbana glosses, and there's also a highlight as well. This packaging caught my eye. The second I saw this drop, I was drawn in by this glorious crown royal packaging. And then my friend Tavia at Chic Profile Official, she posted a photo because she picked some of the glosses up and they look so much more beautiful in her photos and in her posts than they even did on the website. It's very hard to tell whether something's going to be as weighty and luxurious in real life as it looks in a picture. And I thought these in the pictures looked like they could be really light and flimsy and actually cheap in real life. They look so much more beautiful in Tavia's pictures. But yeah, they're still lip glosses, expensive lip glosses. I don't use a lot of lip glosses. I'm super stoked with my Fenty lip glosses and my Lisa Eldridge lip gloss. And those are kind of really the only ones I can see myself using a lot over the coming months. I'm not a huge lip gloss girl, especially not under a mask. So I definitely don't want to spend a huge amount of money on these just because they do look very beautiful. Very. These Haus quads, I just have no interest in this brand really. I've kind of written the whole brand off because I've just really never seen any good, great, positive reviews for the brand. It seems like everything is just kind of rushed and it just seems like the brand is struggling to kind of find its footing. To me, it doesn't appeal to me. These quads are just nothing that stands out to me that I feel like I need, that really appeals to me. At the moment, I've no reason to believe they're going to be great quality and we're all going to love them because of the previous experience of the brand and previous reputation. So for me to purchase from this brand, I'm going to have to start seeing reviews, and I'm willing to give them another chance. I really am. I want them to do great. I do. But their brand in general for me is going to be a wait for review now because it's been questionable so far. So until I start to see reviews coming out where products are improving and things are being repurchased and people are loving Haus quality, I really have no desire to try it. I'm not interested in the brand at this point. Next up, this Maybelline mascara. Now this caught my eye because the wand does look very nice. It does look like something, a wand that I would typically like. Years and years ago, the Maybelline Lash Sensational was like my holy grail mascara. And it was one of the few products that I still purchased from the drugstore because I just never understood really expensive mascara. And then I gave Lancome Monsieur Big a try and the Benefit mascaras, and I realised that the difference is actually longevity. So Lash Sensational for me, the first few uses, I love it, and then it very quickly goes off the boil, and maybe after 2 weeks of hardcore use, it's dried up, or it's certainly not performing how I want it to. Whereas my more expensive mascaras, I mean, my Charlotte Tilbury, this is still my original Charlotte Tilbury mascara that I reviewed like 4 months ago, and I'm still using it and loving it as much as I did the first time I used it, which is, when you work out the maths, it's a better deal. And actually I much prefer my Charlotte Tilbury, my Lancome, my Pat McGrath mascaras now. So as much as I used to believe there was no difference, the difference for me is how long they stay good for. And yeah, so that's kind of making me hesitate. I will probably try it at some point and see how we get on, because for sure we hope that they're working on that and they're working on their formulas and improving the longevity of the formula. And the wand really appeals to me. The packaging looks very, very nice, so I'm definitely interested in giving this one a try. Next up, the Fenty Diamond Bombs. I wish that I could swatch these. If I could go and get my hands on these and swatch these, I would love to do that, because at the moment I don't plan to pick these up, because my understanding of these Diamond Bomb formulas is that they are very glittery, very sparkly, larger glitter particles in there, and that's just not my thing. I prefer a glow, a luminosity lit from within, a smoothing highlight. I don't want glitter all up on my face. I don't, apart from my eyes, obviously. So I think the formula for me, the whole formula is a pass. But I don't know, that is just what I've heard and seen in reviews. And I don't know that these formulas might not be so glittery and sparkly. I'd love to go and try them for myself, but I think as I can't do that, at the moment it's going to be a pass based on previous experience and my understanding and swatches that just tell me it's too much glitter. It's too much for me. I much prefer their duos, their kilowatt formula, which is much more up my street. Now, Vive brand, the whole brand. This is Jamie Genevieve's brand. And a lot of you have been asking me whether I'm going to review this, and I'm not going to review it. Absolutely no shade to Jamie Genevieve. She is one of my absolute favourite artists here on YouTube. I adore Jamie. I've been subscribed to her for a very long time. She's incredibly talented. She does very much my makeup, the kind of makeup I love. I watch her tutorials religiously. I just love everything about the way she does her makeup, and a lot of her favourite products are my favourite products. We like a lot of the same things. So I definitely believe that her brand is something that I will love, but at the moment, the reason I didn't pick it up is because it did go out quite widely in PR. So there's a lot of reviews and a lot of that already up before it was available to purchase. So for that reason, I was a bit behind the times as far as being able to buy it for review purposes. I really had to prioritise other products which were going to be a more popular reviews that I could kind of compete with a bit more. This time of year, products are coming out left, right and centre. So I can't purchase everything for review purposes. I really have to prioritise what I'm picking up for review. And as far as personal use, buying anything for personal use, I certainly don't need any nude lipsticks. I definitely don't need any matte nude lipsticks right now. I've already said I'm completely highlighted out after the Pat McGrath, the Charlotte Tilbury and the Natasha Denona's came and just bombarded our life. So I'm kind of on a rest from highlight for a second. And the eyeshadow palette, it's a great place for her to start. It's, you know, obviously your staple palette that she's started with, which for most brands it's where they start with. But for that reason, for me, it's not something I don't already own and have in my collection 100 times. So that's why I haven't picked anything up so far from Vive. But I do love Jamie, and I love the fact that it's available on Cult Beauty, but I'm not someone who believes that you should buy from someone's brand just because you love the person. I think think you also need to love and want and need the products as well. So, and I'm sure that Jamie wouldn't want us to buy it if it's something we already have 100 of, just to support her. I think that's super important for me. So like I said, it's no shade, it's no reason. I love Jamie, I certainly support her, but I personally don't feel it's a positive message that you have to buy someone's stuff that they're selling in order to support them. And for me, it didn't make sense as a review, and it didn't make sense for me as a personal purchase, so that's why I'm skipping so far. And lastly but not leastly, the Raw Beauty Kristi collab with Colourpop. This was so beautiful. I think it's gorgeous. I love Kristi as well. She is another of my absolute favourites, a very deserving, hard-working person here on YouTube, you know, one of the best, an absolute legend. I love that this collection really speaks to her and her lifestyle, and how she's always said that she wants to go and live in the middle of the woods, and now she's living her dream, and she's got a baby on the way, and this whole thing is just a whole dream. You know, launch day I know was like insane, and launches at Colourpop, you know, the timing is just a nightmare if you're not US based. I've said before, if Colourpop aren't going to get a UK stockist, I can't really support the brand. I would be willing to use more Colourpop, but if they're not stocked in the UK and we can't shop there and just pick up 1 or 2 items without them paying a fortune for shipping and then paying taxes and then paying duties and everything else. If Colourpop was easier to get here and we didn't have to pay all the extra shipping and taxes and duties, I definitely would have picked up the eyeshadow palette. But as I said before, I'm just not willing to purchase something from a US site and pay 3 times the cost of the palette to get it here. And I know people, whenever I talk about this, people will say, oh, if you spend over, I think it's $60 or something, then they do free international shipping. But you know, if you just want the eyeshadow palette, I just don't believe in buying a load of stuff to get that here for free shipping. But I think it's a beautiful collection and she smashed it out of the park, and I love how representative it is of her, and just the whole colour story is just really beautiful, wearable, but something a little bit different, which I really appreciate. So there you have it. That is everything I'm picking up or putting off for the next few weeks. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye.